Hi, welcome to my channel Galactic Bacon, and my video for you today is going to be an Elite Dangerous docking guide and tutorial for beginners and new players. So we're just going to dive straight into this. As I started this video series with a fresh account, I'm still in my starter ship, the Sidewinder. So now when you start off in Elite Dangerous, they make it a little bit easier for you by giving you a docking computer with your first ship. However, as you buy other ships, you will need to add a docking computer yourself if you find it makes your life that bit easier. But sometimes, due to module slot constraints, you may find you wish to use a spare slot for something else other than the docking computer. So I reckon being able to dock your ship manually is a really good skill to have. Everybody should be able to manually dock if you want to get on in this game. Okay, so you'll also have use some similar skills for planetary landing, which you'll probably use later on anyway in the game. So some of the skills you're going to learn by manual docking, you're going to use at other points in the game anyway. Also, once you move on to the much bigger ships, such as an Anaconda, it's quite common for pilots to get their ship stuck in a space station entranceway. So for that reason, it's usually recommended that you do use a docking computer rather than manual docking for some of those larger ships. But anyway, it's a great skill to have, and you will use it other parts of the game as well. So just as an aside, this video is part of a series for beginners. If you haven't seen already, you might want to check out some of my other relevant videos in this series. You'll find them in the description below or at the end of this video. And if you want updates on my new videos, I encourage you to subscribe, but don't forget to click the bell icon or you won't receive any notifications from YouTube. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to undock without using the auto launch, which is normally automatically enabled on your new ship when you start off in Elite Dangerous. So to switch that off, what we're going to do is, if you go to right hand panel, and I'm just going to bring that up just now, and move along your tabs along to your ship settings, and you have your 4 different functions along the side. You've got functions, you've got flight assistance, that's the one we want. Move along to auto launch, and we're going to switch that off. We're also going to switch off auto dock, because we've already been doing some auto docking already in this series, so I'm assuming that you know how to auto dock. So we're going to turn that off as well, and I'm going to go back and we're going to launch our ship. Now, if you're having some problems following the keys that I refer to, you may have to go back and look at your key bindings. If you're following on Xbox or PlayStation, you'll have your own different controls for doing these various maneuvers. So we're now technically undocked. We're drifting just above the pad at the moment. My landing gear is on. I'm going to leave that for the time being. Now, the station has a timer, which you see ticking away. We've got just over 4 minutes to leave the station. If you don't leave within a certain amount of time, you will get a fine, and possibly something much worse if you're still hanging about the station after you're due to leave. So I'm going to use a vertical thrust just to take my ship away from the platform to begin with. Not a good idea to fly forward because we're going to hit that big ramp right in front of us. On my PC keyboard it's R, for vertical thrust, and then to come down again is F. You may have different settings on your ship, so I'm going to just move my ship upwards a little bit, just clear of the platform in front of me. And what you can do is manoeuvre your ship so that you're almost in level with the letterbox exit in front of you, and that will help you as you approach. So I'm going to turn around, just position my ship for exiting, and then we're going to move forward slowly. I recommend probably going no faster than 60, 70 if you haven't done this before. Maybe even about 50 is probably as fast as you should be going if you haven't done this manoeuvre before. Just watch other ships that are trying to leave at the same time. So we're flying through the exit, and once you're out you can increase your speed. Just fly clear of the station. You can put your landing gear off, and that will give you a little bit more speed, because your speed is limited while your landing gear is on, just in case you weren't aware of that already. I'm going to wait until we're no longer mast locked, and I'm going to keep flying until we're a little bit distant from the station. I'll explain why in a little minute. So we're going to stop here. We're about 8 kilometres from the station. Okay, we're going to turn around and face the station again, because we're going to redock with this station. Sorry about my dog in the background. Okay, so that's the station in front of us. Now, before we dock, we have to request docking. You may already be aware of this rule already, but if you're out with 7.5 kilometres from the station, you will not be able to contact it or dock, and this is what will happen if you try. So I'm going to request docking. Docking request denied. Now, you're not told any other information as to why your docking request has been denied. And you may, if that has happened to you, you may be scratching your head thinking, well, I'm near the station, I can see it, but I can't dock. The reason is because you need to be within 7.5 kilometres. So we're going to fly to that 7.5 kilometre limit, and then I'll show you what happens when we're just within the limit. Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit. There. Okay, so we're just under 7.5 kilometres. Now if I go and request docking, docking request granted. Okay, so that's what you need to do. And also, in the same way as when we leave the station, a timer starts once you've been granted docking, so you now have just under 10 minutes to dock. It's telling me I need to proceed to landing pad 12. We won't know what that is until we're actually inside the station. So I'm going to move forward towards the station. If you're arriving at a station and the front of the station is not in front of you, you may have to fly around to try and find it first before you manually dock. If you have a docking computer, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is fly within the right distance, reduce your speed, and auto docking will kick in. But if you're manually docking, you're going to have to fly around the station and try and find out where the front is. Now, these Coriolis starport type stations are called, they're a rotating type of space station. They create their own artificial gravity, that's why they're rotating. So you need to try and match the rotation when you enter the station, and also reduce your speed below 100 you don't want to enter the station above 100 or you'll get a speeding fine. I'm going to go in about 70, which is a nice, relatively slow speed. Okay, and as soon as we get inside, I'm going to reduce my speed right down to 0. I may get bumped from behind, but hey ho. I'm going to look for pad 12. It just so happens it's right below us, so you will need to have a look around for the pad that you're on. Sometimes it can be directly below you, such as that one there, pad 11. They can be a little bit tricky. If you overshoot and you end up too far into the station, all you need to do is turn your ship around. So I'm going to head slowly towards pad 12. Somebody just juked in under me. Now I'm going to come in quite low. Just watch for other obstructions. Slow down, put your landing gear on, and you will begin to slow down even more. I'm going to slow down again. You probably want to come in at less than 10 speed, and you will see the radar changes to landing pad radar, which shows you your position and where you need to get your ship before it will be able to manually dock. So what you're going to have to use to do this is, now this only kicks in once you're a certain height above it. If I move up further, it will disappear. If I move down again, it enables the landing pad radar again. Now, if you're off centre, you will have to use your sideway thrusters on the PC keyboard. It's Q and E. So if I move to the left, it shows my indicator to the left. If I go to the right, it shows it to the right. If I happen to have my ship facing the wrong way, then you will see the ship indicator. I'm just going to swing it round just now. The ship indicator will show your ship pointing the wrong direction, so you need to then turn it around. Okay. Now, in order to manually dock, you need to get the little red dot in the blue section, and when it turns blue, that means you can lower your ship. Just make sure your landing gear is on before you do that. You will see if I move out of the blue zone, it changes colour to red, so we want it to be blue. Okay, so my landing gear is on, my speed is at 0 or near enough, and I'm going to lower the ship just in little touches and just try and keep it in centre, okay, as much as you can. If you go too far, you can just correct it. And that is me docked. Now, the more you practice that, you'll be able to get quicker at it. You'll find little shortcuts as well. So I'm now going to enter the hangar because we're docked. Okay, so well done if you've managed to achieve that. Try it a few times, practice in a station that you're maybe familiar with. I would try practice with the Coriolis starports to begin with. Then as you're flying around, you're visiting different places, you can try different stations. I'm going to show you how to dock at some different type of stations. There are 6 different types of stations in Elite. There's the Coriolis, which we have just seen. There are 2 other rotating stations. There are also capital ships installations, which generally don't rotate. There are asteroid bases as well. There's another type called an Outpost, which is a little bit different from what we've seen already. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to take you to another type of station, and we're going to try and dock there. Okay, I'm now just outside our starter station, and if you want to find one of these outpost type stations, if you go to your navigation panel, and I'm still in my starter system, you will see down here there's one called Demeri Prospect. You will see the little icon. There's a different shape to it. Coriolis always looks like a box with a slot in the middle, and the outpost stations are always indicated by this little icon that you see here. So I'm going to select that as my target, and I'm going to fly to this system, sorry, to this station.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
It's not too far away, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, so we're here, and I'm going to approach docking distance. Now, these stations don't rotate, and they have landing pads at various parts of the station. They will not all be on the same side. They can be tricky to find sometimes. And you do also have to watch that you don't bump into various parts of the station as you're trying to find your landing pad. So I'm going over to contacts. I'm going to contact the station, request docking.
Docking request granted.
You may find, especially at these outposts, if it's busy on the server, you may have to wait a bit of time before docking permission is granted. Sometimes it may just be too busy. Okay, so we're here at the station. You guys wouldn't believe how many takes of this video I've had today. I've had workmen outside, and then a guy turns up with a chainsaw to cut down a tree. I've had dogs barking, car alarms going off. I think this is take 4 of this particular video today. Usually it goes a lot more smoothly than this, but everything seems to be going wrong today. Anyway, we're at our station. And yeah, I had already requested docking, and so what we're going to do is we are going to we need to find landing pad 3, so let's approach the station, and once we get within reasonable distance I'm going to slow down a bit. So we've got a landing pad there. That looks like number 2. So that's not the one we want. So we're going to have to fly around and try and find number 3. Okay. I'm going to slow down again a little bit more. Oh, there's number 3. Okay, so I'm going to stop where I am. I'm going to put my landing gear on. I'm going to use my side thrusters to move more into position.
Landing gear deployed.
And then I'm slowly going to fly further down into position. And once the little landing pad radar is triggered, I'm going to stop my speed. Okay, so there we go. Now, are we facing the right way? I think we're facing the wrong way, so I'm just going to turn my ship around. Oh no, I was facing the right way the first time. Okay, so we're a bit too far forward. I'm going to move back the way. And now I'm too high. Okay, so let's move down. Keep moving down, a little bit to the left, and a little bit forward. Stop. We don't have to be dead on centre. As long as the indicator has gone blue, you can then lower your ship and then hopefully dock. That was a little bit bumpy, but we're there. Okay guys, I hope that tutorial today has been helpful. Docking, if you still have any questions about docking or undocking or launching, just leave some comments below. Also, you may want to check out my other videos. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to get other videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.